Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have really great news. Jurors in Rudy Giuliani's defamation trial have returned their decision today. It is extraordinary. After just over 1 day of deliberations, the jurors said Giuliani should pay Georgia election workers Ruby Freeman and Shaye more than $148 million. Moss and Freeman had asked, I'll remind you, for up to $47 million in damages. And then their attorney asked that the jury order punitive damages in an amount, he said, basically that would send a message to people like Giuliani. Well, they did. They did it in spades. I mean, the jury awarded Moss and Freeman $16 million each for the defamation alone, $20 million each for emotional harm, and a total of $75 million to both of them in punitive damages. And again, you would think he would learn something. He would have some sort of lesson he would learn out of all of this, but you would be wrong. Giuliani remained completely defiant even after the juror's decision was issued. After he left the courthouse, Giuliani called this ruling absurd. And he said, quote, "I don't regret a damn thing." And when reporter Kyle Cheney asked him why he refused to testify in the trial, Giuliani blamed the judge. He said that he was threatened with a possible contempt charge, which is complete idiocy. It is ridiculous. So Ruby Freeman spoke as well with the press, and she said that the money doesn't alleviate everything that Giuliani did to them, obviously. But she said, don't be sad for me and my daughter. Instead, she asked people to pray for them. She talked a lot about her faith in God. And she said, quote, "If you remember one thing I say today, remember this. Faith is what carried us through the most difficult years of my life. And faith is what will carry you through hardships that you face in life." So there you go. And, you know, this is not a good sign for Donald Trump. This is a DC jury. Once again, when you leave it in the hands of a DC jury, every single January 6th case, they have come back with guilty verdicts. Maybe not on all counts, but at least one, if not more counts. So I personally think that the biggest risk to Donald Trump's freedom is that DC case, is the case about his attempted coup that's before Judge Tanya Chutkan. I also think, you know, you have a great judge in Chutkan. She's a very strong judge. She's very strict. She doesn't play games. So I think that that is the biggest risk to him at this point, especially when you look at polling and it says, you know, if he is convicted of a crime, a lot of people are going to change their mind about their votes. So no wonder he is fighting tooth and nail to try to prevent that case from going to trial. But so far, it's still on schedule for March. But yeah, this is not good for Giuliani. There's one thing that I've mentioned in the past. I think it's worth repeating. There were reports out that Giuliani was hiding money, that during his divorces, what he would do is he would get money for speaking gigs or things that he was doing, and he would give that money to friends. And the friends would hold on to that money for him, and then they would give him cash as he needed it to pay for things that he wanted or needed. So it didn't show up in his financial statements, and so his ex-wives couldn't go after him, or at least for not as much, in spousal support. Now, I was on a Twitter space that was hosted by a January 6th defendant who I've had on the show, Pam Hemphill. Also, one of Rudy Giuliani's old buddies, who you might remember, Lev Parnas, he was on as well. And I asked Lev if that was true. And Lev said yes, that he personally knew that that was the case and that Giuliani was hiding money. So I don't have any personal evidence. Like I said, that's what's been reported in the news. That is what Lev Parnas said. So they need to find that money. And he has properties. Remember, he has a property down in Florida. He also has his penthouse in New York, which is listed for sale. So there's money. They just need to squeeze him. They just need to get it. Anyway, at the very least, he will die having to hide his money because he's almost 80 years old. And, he doesn't have much longer, especially with the way he lives his life. I wouldn't imagine he has much longer. And so, yeah, he's going to spend every moment trying to hide it. Anyway, kind of like OJ, but you do what you can. You keep after him. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Hope you have a great weekend with this incredible news. Love you all. Please like, please share, please subscribe, donate if you possibly can. Take care. Talk with you soon.